Real quick, of course, I want to touch on a few comic conventions. One that's happening right now. Of course, we talked about it on the air as well. And right now, going down, this is the last day, day 3, at the Metro Toronto Convention Center. Thousands of people have hit up Comic-Con. Now, of course, this is the first event since what's been like almost 2.5 years of no conventions, thanks to Rona. You know what I mean? So our first convention or toy show was a couple of months ago, and then they put the restrictions back in effect, and there's actually a toy show coming up this coming weekend. So we got 7 days to prepare. So it's happening next Sunday, or this coming Sunday, if you will. So can't wait for that. Heading up with some friends and whatnot, some fellow YouTubers and what have you. So it's going to be fun, to say the least. Of course, getting back into Toronto Comic-Con. Of course, you got the sci-fi, horror, anime, and some video game vendors there as well. You got celebrities in the house. The Incredible Hulk is there. Yeah, Lou Ferrigno, of course. He's going to be talking about everything under the sun. I believe he has a panel there. I'm not really sure. But once you go up and you see him and you pay for an autograph or whatever you're doing, maybe a photo op, he'll chat it up and talk about his future projects and what have you. Now, spoiler, if you hate spoilers, he's actively talking about not reprising his role as the Hulk, per se, in a future Marvel movie. So, everybody's been asking him. They're jumping on that multiverse bandwagon since we saw the other iterations of Spider-Man come back in the most recent film. And, well, they asked him the question, various outlets, us included. We said, hey, you gonna do the Hulk? He's like, no, I want to do a villain. So that's kind of crazy. Lou Ferrigno, man, he does things the way he wants to do them, on his own accord. You know what I mean? Of course, you got Laura from Smallville there as well. And this is the big one. His panel was off the hook. You can check it out. There's a few people that uploaded the entire panel to YouTube. Austin St. James, of course, the Red Power Ranger from the original 90s North American iteration on good old, what was it, Fox? I want to say Fox. Yeah. Maybe YTV here in Canada. So yeah, like if you're hitting up Comic-Con today, enjoy. It's the last day, man. And it's been a crazy 3 days. So again, it's good to see that crowds can actually form. The mask restrictions are going to be lifted, I believe, this coming week. Masks are still in effect, though, at the comic convention. I think tickets are like $25 for a day. And today, on Sunday, they're having a whole day of Sailor Moon, celebrating the 30th anniversary for that franchise in particular. So this convention here is kicking off convention season, in my opinion. And of course, you get another one coming up in June, Niagara Falls Comic-Con. This one's going to be dope. Let's talk about the guest list. So, of course, you got 75 days, as the official website ticker lets you know, until Niagara Falls Comic-Con. It's going down Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, June 3rd to the 5th. And there's going to be some heavy hitters in the building, on the real. So let's go through some of the celebrity guests. And the rest, of course, I talked about them on the radio. Big shout out to everybody that tuned in. You guys are saying, hey, man, it's been a while. Haven't heard you. It's good to hear you, blah, blah, blah. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. But like I said, I do two platforms pretty much now. So YouTube and, of course, the other medium. So getting to Niagara Falls Comic-Con, you got William Shatner, who's going to be in the building. This guy makes the rounds whenever he can. And, of course, with restrictions being lifted, I guess, can you say we're getting back to normal? Are we? I don't know. He's going to be all over, like, this comic convention. I'm sure he'll hit up a few other ones throughout Canada. Moving on, you got Corey Feldman, of course, from the Goonies fame. He's only appearing Saturday. Oh, and Shatner is only going to be there Friday and Saturday, so not the entire weekend. And this sucks. Corey Feldman is only going to be there on Saturday. I have a clip of the Goonies panel from Fan Expo from years ago, and man, they were amazing. They were amazing. So good to see that he's coming back to Canada. You got Ron Perlman, of course, from Hellboy, Sons of Anarchy, and the list goes on. He's only appearing on Saturday. Laura, again, from Smallville. She's appearing at this one as well, Saturday and Sunday. You have Joseph Marcel. Of course, you know him as Jeffrey from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's cool. And he's appearing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. May have to go see that guy. He's a good actor. He's a really good actor. I mean, just take a look at the website here, guys. Look at this. Look at all these people that are going to be hitting up Niagara Falls Comic Con. Richard Karn from Home Improvement. If you're a 90s kid, you know what I'm talking about. Come on. You got the two actors from the Chips, Erica Estrada, Larry, of course. You got David Aris. They're calling him the goalie legend. You remember this guy? That was like a few years back. He was called up. They just had to put a goalie in net. This guy had no experience or whatnot, other than rec league, I think it was. And he beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. Jeez, I didn't expect that. Santino Marella, Kevin Nash. That's pretty cool. I mean, Nash has been at various conventions in Canada over the years. But it's always good to see the NWO. Mick Foley, he's a mainstay at this convention. He's been there at least 2 or 3 other times, I think. John Bradshaw Layfield, come on, this is crazy. I didn't even know this many wrestlers were appearing. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. It looks like Kim Coates is going to be there. I actually interviewed him a couple years ago at Fan Expo. Great interview. It was about a show that he was doing at the time, centered around a mobster and some other gangsters and whatnot. And it was a really cool show. It lasted, I think, for a season or 2, or 1 season, I believe. Because I remember asking them if there's going to be a second season. But they said it's tough because I think most of the characters die in the first season. That's why you got to prep really good for your interviews. But, I mean, it wasn't a question that I didn't think out. Because these days, you see the spin-offs. Like The Walking Dead, for example. Everybody's talking about, you know, hey, Rick Grimes, there's going to be a spin-off, or a movie at least, I mean, right? I haven't kept up with the Walking Dead franchise because, well, let's be honest, the show sucks now. It's been horrible for at least 2 years now. But that's a whole other story. Maybe that's why you don't see a whole lot of the Walking Dead characters here, or guests, or you don't see any at all, actually. And over the last 5 years, those were some of the best celebrity guests and panels. The panels, the question and answer panels, they're really good. I recommend them. Do not skip on those things. If you're paying for a ticket, you're paying a lot of money to be there, go see the panels. They're amazing. They're amazing. And it's a good chance for you to see your favorite celebrity connect with you. They'll connect with basically everybody, you know, and it's not scripted. The ones that were scripted, of course, they were boring, those panels, but they went south really quick because the fans wanted to get their questions in. You know, they want to yell something from the audience or whatever. But yeah, panels are fun. Panels are fun. Just looking through the website here at on Niagara Falls Comic Con .com. Well, it's actually nfcomiccon.com, and that's basically it. I mean, there's others here, but the ones that I wanted to talk about, I've kind of mentioned. Of course, you got James right here from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He's going to be there the entire weekend. I know there's a lot of people that still want to see this guy. I don't know nothing about the show. Nothing about the show other than the main woman that was on the show. Why do I forget her name now? But she was the '90s mainstay. We'll insert the image here since I can't remember, or the name, anyways. That's horrible. But hey, listen, we all have levels to fandom, right? To being a geek, and whether you're hardcore and you know every single celeb, great. If you're like me, you know what you know, and the other ones, you just kind of see them on commercials or whatnot, or you had seen them on commercials back in the day, right? You got the voice of Mario, Charles. He's going to be there all weekend. This guy is cool. We first met him at Fan Expo, and he is cool. So make sure you guys go see him if you're a fan of the series. And of course, that's basically it. I just want to kind of talk about how conventions are coming back. It's really cool. It's great that Toronto Comic Con kicked things off, of course, being the first convention after this crazy nonsense pandemic we've been going through. It looks like restrictions are going to be lifted permanently. We hope, anyways. Let's see. Like the mask mandate is being lifted here in the province of Ontario this coming week, I believe it is now, 21st, they said, yeah. So yeah, it's great. It's great to see the conventions and toy shows get back to normal, and then we can actually attend these things without having to worry about anything, to say the least. And then, of course, this coming Sunday is the Mississauga Toy Show. So it's officially dubbed the Ontario Collectors Con, and that's happening on Sunday, March 27th. Like I said, I'll be in the building along with some friends who talk toys. I cover all different platforms, right? So from music to pop culture to comics, movies, etc., right? These guys in particular, they're more so going to be talking toys, and that's what this collectors convention is going to be all about. It's going to be all about the vintage action figures we know from the 80s, 90s, also like memorabilia, different kind of props. Sometimes you can find there as well. Sometimes you could find some rare test pieces, so like ones that would circulate amongst the sales vendors or what have you, or the outside sales team, and then they'd go pitch the product, toys, whatever it was, franchise, to prospective clients, and eventually they'd end up at toy shows back in the day, pitching their products and hoping to make some money off these things. So you can have a lot of Transformers vendors in there, Star Wars vendors, G.I. Joe, DC, Masters of the Universe, Ninja Turtles, and the list goes on. So that's going down this coming Sunday, March 27th, the Ontario Collectors Con, and that's going to be at the Hilton in Mississauga / Meadowvale. So a really cool hotel. It's spacious. It's amazing. And of course, now with the restrictions lifted, we don't have to worry about once you head into the hotel. Then once you go into the hotel, you hang a left, you pay for your ticket, check in, whatever, and then boom, there's all the vendors right there. So there's sort of like two, I think in that particular hotel, there's two areas where you can purchase products from vendors. So vendors line the tables on the outside, and then there's a big hall that you go into, and that's where you find all the holy grails. You know what I mean? From your Cat's Lair to your Inbox Grayskull to your Boulder Hill, and the list goes on. So that's going to be a really fun show. I believe that's the hotel that I'm describing. There was another one that I covered here on my channel. That one had like 2 or 3 areas. 3 for sure. 2 rooms, and then of course the main hallway where some of the vendors were. So that one was cool as well. That was a couple months back. And then of course, I don't really know what else is coming up after this show. So there's going to be something in April as well, I believe, from somebody. But the ones that we're looking forward to, of course, is what's going down right now. Toronto Comic Con, that's kicking off convention season, getting back to normal, And this coming Sunday, the Ontario Collectors Con. And then, of course, Niagara Falls Comic Con. So that one's going to be dope. I mean, like I said, we just went over the guest list. They got some heavy hitters, guys. Thanks for tuning in once again. I appreciate it. Like I said, a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on, particularly in the world of media for myself. More on that forthcoming. Thanks for tuning into the channel here. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell so you know when the next video is dropping. Keep on collecting.